Okay, so this is going to be recorded. I will be sending out the replay to everybody. Any of the handouts that I talk about during the webinar, I will email you also those handouts afterwards. And if you have any questions, a lot of times I will, answer questions throughout. So any questions that you have, make sure that you put it in the chat, and I will be checking the chat from time to time. But I want to get started with a PowerPoint, okay? And just kind of go over with you guys how Done by One got started, and really kind of like what happened to me and how I decided to come up with Done by One. So my name is Danielle Damianov. Donebyone.ai is the website where you can get more information on Done by One, as well as sign up if you're interested. And hold on one second. Okay. And so I want to start with Done by One and how it all got started. So I've been in real estate and mortgage both since 2001. And in 2012, I moved around a lot. So I started in Tampa, Southwest Florida. 2012, we decided to move to Miami. And when we moved to Miami, I got started with a brand new brokerage, and they had their own CRM. So I figured I'm going to get rid of Top Producer, which is what I was using, and I'm going to use their CRM. I made the mistake of not taking my database with me because I really didn't think I would ever end back up in Southwest Florida. However, here I am today. The other thing is that I was using a lot of different things to run my business. So I had their CRM. I was using viral marketing for video email. I was cold calling. So I was a Mike Ferry agent, cold calling expires and FSBOs every day. So Vulcan 7 to get my numbers, Mojo for the 3-line dialer, MailChimp for my email campaigns. So I was using so many different things and tools to run my business. Not only is it annoying to have your database and so many different things, but it also gets expensive, right? And so back in 2016, we moved back over to Southwest Florida. I was doing some real estate, got back into mortgage. And every time I switched companies, it was a nightmare trying to get my hard-earned database out of the database of the company that I worked for, because you really weren't supposed to take their data. Even though it was my database, these were people that I met, I networked with, I went to meetings, put them all in the company database. And whenever I left, it was a nightmare trying to get my data out of their database, okay? So the third thing is that I love to travel. We travel every summer, and I started to say, okay, I have all of these different tools that I'm using to run my business. Not to mention, whenever I'm on vacation, I was schlepping around with my backpack to run into a cafe, to send a pre-approval letter or talk to a client or whatever. And I started thinking to myself, how can I run my business and be done by one every single day? What has to happen in my business to move the needle to still be able to run my business, but be done by one so I can go and live my life? And that's how Done by One got started, was the realization that number one, I needed my own CRM with my own database so that no matter where I go, I have my data and I don't need to try to extract it from somebody else. The second thing is that I don't want multiple different systems. I want a system that everything can be done in one. And then also, how can I set up my day through automation and tasks and follow-ups and things like that, so that I literally can be done by one every single day. And that's how Done by One got started. So I created the CRM, not just a CRM, but also an entire basically coaching program on what has to happen in order for you to work your business from the time you wake up until 1 p.m. Number one, it starts with mindset, right? Making sure your mindset is right. Pillar number two is your lead generation and your lead follow-up. Then it flows into your sales, marketing, branding, social media, working on your business. And the fifth pillar is lifestyle. So I have handouts that I will be emailing you that basically go over this entire system, weekly guides, a step-by-step plan to follow. So if you follow this plan and incorporate the CRM into the plan, you can be done by one every day also, and your business will run based off of automation. I also have a handout called DADS, which is basically sitting down every morning and listing every single thing that you have to do that day. And then starting to ask yourself, okay, out of all of these things that I have to do, what can I delegate? What can I automate? What am I going to do? What am I going to dump because it has nothing to do with my overall goal or plan? And then what can I schedule out? And then the final thing that I'm going to send you guys an email on is the business audit. And the business audit is basically everything that you should have in your CRM that is going to automate and make your life so much easier. So it will show you what you need to dial into your business. So we're going to hop into the CRM in just a few minutes, but just want to finish this kind of whole system. So the first is mindset. And I incorporated all different classes within the CRM as well as boot camps and challenges to keep your mindset strong. We have a whole section with free ebooks and handouts and stuff like that. Pillar number 2 is your lead generation. So in the CRM, you're going to see a dashboard where you can track all of your numbers, track your leads, track your conversions, know where your business is coming from. The second is automation. So we're going to be able to automate your lead generation for you, automate your lead follow-up for you. We have reconnecting campaigns to reconnect with your past clients, or to reconnect with your sphere of influence, or to reconnect with your database. Schedule all of your email and text message follow-ups so that leads are not slipping through the cracks, that you're able to consistently follow up with them even if you're not consistent. Nurture campaigns so we can nurture your potential clients instead of just putting them in an MLS drip, right? You can go ahead and set up the campaign so that you're nurturing your clients. Tasking yourself every single morning. My cell phone I have the CRM app on my phone, and it will give me my daily task list so I can see exactly what tasks I have for that day. And I'm going to show you how to do that. You can schedule out your text messages and your emails. So if you got emails from me in regards to the CRM webinar, I scheduled those out weeks ago, right? So really taking a look at your business, getting yourself organized and saying, okay, what do I have coming up this month? And taking one day to schedule out all of those tasks and emails. This is how you're going to be able to live your life and be done by one, because you're being more cognizant of your time and scheduling everything out. Instead of rewriting the same emails all the time to your clients, we take these snippets. So we take your text and email marketing snippets and we create templates. So that way it is very easy to send emails and text messages to your clients, whether you're doing it from your cell phone or you're doing it from the CRM on your desktop computer. We have past client follow-up campaigns, because we all know that a lot of us don't follow up with our past clients, right? We close on the deal and then maybe we'll do 1 or 2 follow-ups. We have a 365-day follow-up campaign for your past clients. We have a power dialer in the CRM so you can import your leads and you can make calls or have an inside sales agent make calls for you. And we all know that the money is in the follow-up, right? You can go and generate leads and call leads, but if you're only calling them once and you're not consistently following up with them, your conversion is going to be so low, right? It takes at least 7 to 8 times of following up with somebody before you get them as a client or before you close the deal. So really taking the CRM and having the CRM be consistent for you. It's a set it and forget it thing, so that done by one will allow you to be consistent with your follow-up, even if you're not. Pillar three is sales and marketing. So what's awesome about the CRM is you're not using a million different tools to do your sales, marketing, and branding. Your social media posting can be scheduled out for the next week, the next month, the next year, if you want to schedule out your social media for a year. Your Google My Business, if you do not have a Google My Business account or page, I highly suggest you get that, because the more Google My Business reviews you get, or the more Facebook reviews that you get, this is going to be your social proof, but it's also going to organically increase your SEO. By having that Google My Business page and getting Google My Business reviews, you are going to rank higher on Google organically. And we have the tools to automatically request Google My Business reviews from your current clients, past clients, people that you work with. Okay. Your email and marketing campaigns and your email newsletters, all of this is in the CRM. You can run Facebook and Google ads. I can honestly tell you, I have tried to run Facebook ads so many times on Facebook, and I just, for whatever reason, couldn't figure it out. It was extremely complicated for me. I am a non-techie person, okay? So everything that I do within the CRM, when I'm showing you guys how to do certain things also, or if I'm doing tutorials, I try to make it very simple, because that's how I learn. I'm a very non-techie, simple person. So running Facebook ads in Done by One is the easiest thing that I've ever, came across. And we have all of the automation set up for you with text and email. So once they inquire on the Facebook ad, they end up in the CRM, and then we have the automations of text, email, voicemail drops going out to them. You can run evergreen webinars. In fact, I'm in the process of building out an evergreen webinar right now. I'll show you guys how to do that. You can do a monthly webinar series. Maybe you want to do webinars for investors or first-time home buyers. All of that can be done within the CRM. Landing pages with calls to action, realtor marketing, single property websites. Upload your entire database and market to them. Video, email, newsletters, podcasting. I have a podcast. We have a podcasting pipeline as well as a recruiting pipeline. And then the fourth is working your business. So that is going to be your status updates to all parties to the transaction. This is all automated. Keeping notes on your clients, uploading your documents into the CRM, DocuSign, QR codes. All of that is available for you, as well as if you're using the CRM to cold call, for example, you're using the power dialer, or you have a virtual assistant cold calling for you. Those phone conversations can be recorded and in the file. So that way you can listen back to the conversations and have, sales calls with your ISA to say, oh, at this point, maybe you should have said this. Or maybe you just are, recording those conversations so that you don't forget what that conversation was about, or you want your assistant to listen to that conversation so that they know, how to handle your client. Creating SOPs with your team is huge. Anything that you do, right, over and over and over again, you want to start recording yourself. I do all of mine on Zoom, and then I'll use otter.ai to basically do the whole transcript. Zoom, I think, can do the transcript for you now as well. But this way, if you are wanting to grow and scale your business and get off of that sales roller coaster, you can hire a virtual assistant to do a lot of this stuff for you. So when you're doing something like inputting a listing into the MLS, for example, or transaction coordinator work, if you record what the steps are and what needs to be done, then when you hire somebody, they can go and watch all of your SOPs on how to do certain things, and they can all be recorded and stored in the CRM. So you'll get unlimited contact uploads. I know a lot of CRMs will charge based on additional contacts. Unlimited pipelines, unlimited automations, unlimited landing pages, webinars. And then what we do is we really customize it for you. There's a lot of CRMs out there that it is a one size fits all. Like your business has to fit within the CRM. I am a huge proponent where everybody's business is different, right? And so your business is going to be very different than my business, and how you get your deals and how you follow up. So we help you customize the CRM for you so that it's not a one size fits all. And then you can go and live your lifestyle, work from 9 to 1, be done by 1, and live your life. I know it sounds amazing. So I want you to think about your business and your life right now. Like, what are the things in your business that you do not like doing, right? That you can automate or you can delegate, or you can have the CRM automate it for you, right? So when we go through the CRM, you're going to probably be a little overwhelmed because you're probably going to say, oh my gosh, there's so many different things that it can do. So I want you to think about what you need now in your business and how the CRM can help you now. Because what happens is we focus on what you need now. And then once we get that down and that is automating, your business for you, we can then move on to something else. So for example, you might not be interested in doing a webinar right now, right? But you might be interested in doing it down the line. So if you think about your business, right now I need more leads, or right now I need better lead follow-up, and eventually I do want to incorporate the webinar funnel. So don't get overwhelmed by it. I'm going to take you guys through the CRM right now, but this, if you scan the QR code, this will also send you, once you fill this out, it's going to send you the handouts as well as the replay to the done by 1 CRM. Okay, so that's that. So let's go ahead and hop into the CRM, and I'm going to hop around a little bit because I want to take you guys through, this is a dummy account. So this is just a real estate dummy account, but I do want to show you some other things that, in my live account as well. So this is the dashboard. When you log into the CRM, this is what your dashboard looks like. Now, we can customize the dashboard based on what it is that you want to track. So if I go here to add widget, right, you can see all of the different things that we can track on your dashboard. Track your conversions. We can track your calls. We can track if you're doing a lot of email marketing campaigns. How many appointments are you getting each week? How many were confirmed? How many were no-show? How many were canceled? How many new contacts are you getting? So we can track basically every KPI, key performing indicator in your business right here on the dashboard, okay? But this is the way that this one here is customized. So we have, I'm going to show you the funnels in a second, but let's just say this is your buyer funnel and these are the buyer stages here, okay? So we can see that we have new buyer leads, about 1.1 million in new buyer leads. We have a $650,000 buyer consultation completed. We have somebody set up with drip from the MLS. And then we can change this to our sellers or our listings. How many contracts do we have signed? How many, how much volume is listed on MLS? Do we need a price reduction? Okay, so these are the funnels. This is where your tasks are going to be on the dashboard. So I will show you how you're tasking yourself or other people on your team. And then also, let me hop over into mine real quick. Let me see. I just want to show you on my dashboard. So this is in my mortgage CRM. If I scroll down, I can also see, here's my tasks, right? If I already called the client for the annual mortgage review, it's overdue, I will just click there and it will go away. I can see my lead source report. Where are my leads coming from? And I'm running Facebook ads in the CRM, so I can see my Facebook ad report. And that's really what I wanted to show you there. So going back here, this is your dashboard. The second is going to be your conversations, okay? This is a unified inbox. Once you get on the CRM, we set up all of your social media for you. So and we sync it also with your Gmail or your Outlook. So Facebook, Instagram, all of that, how many leads, so how many lead sources do you have in your business, right? Half of the time people are sending me leads from Instagram or a Facebook DM, or it's an email or a text. So we have a unified inbox where all of the conversations are stored. Okay, so we can see these are text messages, these are emails. If there was an Instagram or a Facebook DM, it's going to be in here. If you're using WhatsApp, it would be in here. So all of these conversations are stored in one spot. So it makes it very easy to see all of your different conversations and not let leads fall through the cracks. On top of that, we also have the app on our phone. So half of the time I'm on vacation, I'm leaving for Europe on Friday, right? I can literally be in Spain running this entire business from my cell phone. All of the conversations, the way you see it here is the way I see it on my phone. Okay, so I don't need to have my computer up to be able to answer these messages. The second is the calendars. Okay, so if you're used to using Calendly, then you don't need Calendly anymore. We can have multiple calendars for different appointments. So maybe it's for listing appointments, buyer appointments, price reductions, like whatever you want your calendars to be, or you can just have the one calendar and we sync the calendar with your Outlook or your Google so everything ends up here. When it comes to contacts, okay, you can upload an unlimited amount of contacts. If we go into my Bray Funding CRM and we go into the contacts, we can see I have 312,000 contacts in here, okay? And then the other thing that we have is the ability to create these smart lists. So what a smart list is I was running ads for loan programs for doctors, for example. So I got a list of all of the doctors in the state of Florida. And if I wanted to send them a mass email from here, okay, I could click here, select all almost 2,000 people. And my options are to either put them on an automation. I can send them a mass text message. I can send them a mass email. I can also send them a Google My Business review request directly from here. Or if I wanted to do like a bulk WhatsApp message, I could do that here. The other thing with the contacts is tags. So whenever you have your contacts, you can have multiple tags for them. So let's just say I wanted to reach out to my past clients, right? So I need to go to all over here and I go here and I do past client. Here's all my past clients. So if I wanted to send all of my past clients a mass, Google My Business review request because I want to increase my SEO, I can go ahead and click on that and it will take me to, the next section. And then I will pick, do I want to send them a text message or an email or a WhatsApp review request? And then I would go ahead and send it. And it's going to send them the link for my Google My Business review that we help you set up during your onboarding. Okay, so those are all of the things that you can do with the contacts. Now I'm going to show you something else with the contacts. Let me go into the dummy one. Okay, so this is just a random person that I made up. If I want to send her, and we talked about the snippets in the PowerPoint. So if you're sending an email and that email is basically the same every single time, okay, or a text message that you send to new buyers, you send the same templated email every time. We help you create those snippets so that when you're in here, if I wanted to email Sharon, okay, I can insert the snippet. This is for sale by owners, right? Let's just say she's a for sale by owner. I can insert the snippet and send. So I don't have to retype these emails all the time. So you just take whatever emails and text messages that you normally would do. And if you don't have any and you want to create some, then you can go ahead and use ChatGPT to create them. But let's just say this is a new listing, right? And we now need to request from the photographer, to go out and whatever, get the photo shoot. I can go to photography order and then just add the address, property type, bedrooms, bathrooms, service requested. And I can either send it or I can schedule it to be sent. Maybe I don't want this going out until tomorrow or Friday or whatever, because that was the day we were going to be scheduling the photos. So this is how you can start to organize yourself, because what happens in this business is we get so busy that we forget to do a lot of things, which is lead follow-up, right? Which is consistently following up with leads or lead generation, or we get too busy, we start working on our deals, and then we're on that sales roller coaster. Or maybe you want to start hiring a virtual assistant and you are not comfortable with, them sending out emails to your clients. So you create all the snippets so that they can just go in there and insert the snippets. Okay. If you wanted to send an attachment to them, you can send the attachment right here. Let's say you're in property management and you wanted to send an invoice to the client or to, the plumber or whatever. You can send request payment directly from here. Okay, so you can text or email a payment link. You can also keep all of your notes on the client. So let's just say Sharon is an expired listing. She's going to relist next week, whatever. Okay, so you can keep your notes. You can upload all of your documents, your contracts, everything right here. Once again, you can see all of the payment transactions if you're in property management, your invoices, your estimates, everything, the payments that they are, the rent payments monthly. And you can also right here task yourself or somebody else on the team to do something. So maybe you have a virtual assistant and, let's just say I want to tell Crystal to order the photography. So I can say, Crystal, order photos. And then I can say, order photos on Friday for this property. And then you can also create recurring tasks. So if you have a team and there's something that they need to be doing every week, every month, every day, then you create these recurring tasks for them or for yourself. And then you can select who you want this to go to. I want Crystal to do this. I'm going to save. So when she logs into the CRM, she's going to see on her dashboard that is a task she has to do, and it's also stored in the contact section here. Okay, so this is a pending task. If I wanted to schedule an appointment, right? I'm going on a listing appointment. I want to schedule that appointment. I'll schedule it here. And then those appointments will show up not only on my calendar, but if that's something that I'm tracking, it's also going to show up on my dashboard. So those are contacts. And I want to also point out that from your cell phone, if you have those snippets and you're in the CRM, you can go ahead and send those snippets, the text and email snippets, directly from your cell phone as well. The next is opportunities and pipelines. This is huge. This is where you are going to keep track of all of your deals. But the other thing is what we do is we go over your sales process. So what is your sales process from like a new buyer lead all the way through to closing? And we can automate all of these different stages. So let's just say that you have a virtual assistant and that virtual assistant is setting up the MLS drips for these buyers, right? So I just got a new buyer, John Smith. He's looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath pool home. Let's just say in Estero, up to 700,000. So I can go to John Smith. I can go in here, put my notes, 3-2 pool home, up to 700K in Estero. And I can then task my assistant, right, to set this person up on the MLS strip. But I can also create automations so that when I move John Smith over into set property drip from MLS, it's automatically going to task my assistant or whoever I want it to task. It's automatically going to task them to do that. So we have the ability to create an automation for each stage here. So if we move them over to under contract, it can then send out the congratulations emails. It can, task the photographer to schedule the photography. So all of these are automations that we can do. So this is huge because not only can we create these automations to make it very simple, but we can also, let's go to the sellers, for example. Let's just say Sharon Johnson is on MLS and she's been on MLS for at least 30 days, right? And we have no offers. Well, we know that we probably need a price reduction. And if you're a good agent, you probably set the stage, especially in this market, for a price reduction within 30 days if we're not really getting a lot of showings. And letting Sharon know, hey, Sharon, within 30 days, if we don't have any offers on the property, we need to talk about the price, right? So we can create an automation to where if this sits and listed on MLS for 30 days, and we don't move it over into price reduction or we don't move it over into under contract, it can automatically email Sharon, hey Sharon, as discussed, just wanted to check in with you to schedule an appointment to go over your listing or possibly discuss a price reduction or whatever we want it to do. But this is called a stale opportunity. So when you're not moving it, we can create those automations to automatically follow up for you. And that is how the whole entire Done by One system is going to help you grow and scale your business, because you're setting these safeguards in place to have the system do it for you. So you can be in Aruba or you can be in Spain and the system is automatically doing it for you. And maybe you have another person on your team that's going to do that price reduction, phone call or whatever. So this is how you can have unlimited pipelines. They're very simple to create. If I wanted to create a new pipeline, maybe it's a Facebook ad lead pipeline, and I would do new lead, add a stage, interested, whatever it is. So this is how you can create these different pipelines and keep track of all of your leads. And with just a drag and a drop, automations can happen. So it's really just taking the time to say, okay, what is my sales process? Where am I not consistent? Where do I need to have the system follow up with me? I can tell you from the mortgage standpoint, I would get somebody pre-approved, and then what would happen was I would send them the pre-approval letter and I was not consistently following up with them. So if I go into my mortgage pipeline, and I'm switching CRMs here real quick, but if I go into my mortgage pipeline and this is the pre-approved and looking people, okay, this is going to follow up with them every single Wednesday. Hey, just checking to see how the home search is going. Wondering if you have any questions for me, if you need me to run numbers for you, blah, blah, blah. So on the real estate side, we can do the same exact thing, right? If they're in the set property drip from MLS or showing properties or whatever, we can have the system every week on a specific day touch base with them so that they're not just getting that MLS strip for a follow-up. So that is the opportunities and the pipeline section. When it comes to payments, a lot of you are not going to need to use this unless you're in, let's just say, property management or whatever. But if you are, you have the ability for doing estimates, invoices, This is where you're probably going to want to upload your listing presentations under documents and contracts, right? Or maybe you have a presentation, a listing presentation, and you want to send it out with the as is contract or whatever. I know a lot of people use Form Simplicity, and we all, a lot have DocuSign, but you have the ability to get documents DocuSigned in the CRM. So you're not having to pay additional for DocuSign if you don't have it. If you're not using Dotloop or Form Simplicity or any of the other ones, you can store all of your contracts in here, okay? And then just to show you real quick, these are what it integrates with. So PayPal, Stripe, and then we also have outside integrations if you needed to. I'm gonna come back to the AI agent and head on over to marketing. We'll do AI at the end because the AI is new, but it's amazing. So coming to the marketing section, this is where you're going to stay top of mind. And I'm going to show it to you in my mortgage CRM because this is basically where I'm running everything out of. So we can see all of my different scheduled posts. And I have certain posts that are reoccurring because I want that post to go out every week or every couple of days, right? So we get all of your social media hooked up. LinkedIn, Google My Business, all of your Facebook pages, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, everything is here. Okay. So once you sync all of your accounts, as I mentioned before, if people are responding to you or DMing you, they'll go if you want them to. We don't have to have it set up that way, but if you want them to, into your unified inbox. Let's say you have multiple people on your team. You can create a group. So it can be John's social media, Karen's social media, right? So when you're coming in here to post, you're only posting it to that. Now, if I wanted to, we have templates for you already done, or you can do your own. I basically do both, right? So if I wanted to schedule, and we can look at my calendar here on what's going out, but let's just say we can see all of my social media posts going out, right? And let's just say I wanted to schedule out 25 new posts. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go to create new post. Now I can also, that's a one-off post. I can also upload a CSV file. So maybe what I did is I went to ChatGPT and I said, give me 25 social media posts on first-time home buyers, for example. I can then take all of those, upload them into Canva, create a CSV, and then upload the CSV into here, right? Or I can use Content AI, just like ChatGPT right in here. I can also, if I have my favorite, I don't know, Florida Realtors, I like the news from them, for example. I can create RSS posts. So whenever there's a new news post, it will automatically post on my social. Or I can go to the templates. So let's look at the templates here. These are already done for you. And let's just say I'm going to go into real estate. Okay. These are all different real estate templates that you can use that you can just automatically post. We have property management, real estate investing, real estate wholesaling, mortgage, real estate attorney. You can literally schedule out your entire year if you wanted to, staging with all of these different posts so that you're constantly staying top of mind and you're not having to wonder what to post. So let's just take this property investment, for example. If I click here, okay, these are 6 posts, right? So I could go in, click on continue. We can see here, these are my personal, oh, it just went over, and I'm going to select my social. Okay, so I can decide which accounts I want them to go to. I'm going to click on all, but then I need to take TikTok and YouTube off because they're not videos. And then I want these to go out on Wednesdays between 8 a.m. and let's just say 9 a.m. Okay. So I pick my times. I can pick if I want them recurring or not. And then I can just go ahead and click on schedule posts and it's going to schedule my posts for Wednesday. So there's 6. So now for the next 6 weeks, these are going to go out. Okay. I don't know why that's coming up as 5 a.m. Let's switch it to 9. Schedule. Okay. So now I can go back through wholesaling, real estate experts, all of these, right? There's 25 posts here, 25 posts here. I can schedule all of those also for like one a day. So that way, all of these posts now are going to just automatically go out for me, right? So I don't have to worry about posting on social media all the time. So that is taking batch content and just scheduling out your batch content, right? So that you're not constantly, oh, what should I post? If you're not getting business from social media, you 100% need to be doing this because this is how you're staying top of mind, okay? Your email marketing campaigns are all right here. I'm in my mortgage account right now. But your email marketing campaigns, you can create a new campaign. We have templates that are already done for you. The other awesome thing is that I was using, when I sold real estate, I was using viral marketing. I forget how much, I think it was like $250 back in the day, right? And all they had us do is do a video and send it to our database every other week. When that video email went out to the database, we would get a report of the performance, who opened it, who clicked on it, who unsubscribed, blah blah blah. And then what we were supposed to do is us or an inside sales agent reach out to the database. Hey, I saw that you opened the email, just wanted to check in to see if you have any questions, blah blah blah. We have the same exact thing here in the CRM. So we can track all of our, who clicked on it, how many, bounced, spam complaints, who unsubscribed, all of that is right here. And we have the campaigns and you can do the video email campaigns. So these are some of the campaigns that I have, the monthly client newsletters, but let's just say you wanted to do a new campaign. Let's take a look at the marketing templates, okay? So if I go in here, these are all different templates that you can use. Now, sometimes I like the way something looks for, let's just say, business coaching and consulting. It might not have anything to do with mortgage and real estate, but I just like the way that it looks. So I will go in and customize that, right? But if I go to show more here and I go to real estate, these are all of the different real estate templates that you have to choose from. And then all you or your virtual assistant needs to do is just tweak it with maybe your new listing or your buyer's wants and needs or something about your home value or whatever. But you can see how many real estate templates you have to choose from that are already done for you. Okay. You can also, if you have multiple listings, for example, create an email where you're emailing everybody your multiple listings. I'm just going to show you actually real quick how this works and how easy it is to create these email campaigns. And then what I suggest doing is once you create it, right, all you're doing every single month is just cloning it. So you already have your content, you already know what you want going out. So then all you have to do is clone it every single month and add whatever, information it is that you want to add. So let's say I wanted to customize this, for example, and I wanted to put a video here. I'm just going to take video and I'm going to move it over, drop it, and then that's my video, right? So I obviously have to either record a video, or let's say I wanted to send somebody, mortgage news or real estate news or information about the market. This is how simple it is. You can go over to YouTube, okay? And let's just do interest rate update. Just going to show you a quick example. This is from 21 hours ago, right? So this is about the feds. I'm going to click on share. I'm going to go back to my email. Where is it? No. And I'm going to just add that, okay, right here. So I'm just going to go over here. I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to add the YouTube video. And now this is going to be that YouTube video. which it's not looking right now, but I'm telling you, this is what it's going to be. And it will, this is the YouTube video that will go out from the CNBC. Now, we can also change the thumbnail if we wanted to, but usually it will show, it's probably just taking a minute. It will look exactly, and it might just be, let me just do something real quick, actually. Hold on one second. I think it's because we have to skip this video. Yeah.
Welcome back to CBS News 24/7.
So let me go back here, copy the link. Let's see if this makes it look better. Sorry, I have so many tabs open. And that is how you can do the email campaigns. Sending out the email. Now, if you wanted to do a video where every week it's like, or every month, hey, it's Danielle, welcome to my email newsletter. I just wanted to tell you what was going on with the market, blah, 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 blah. I would just record something on Zoom. And then these are all of the ways that you can upload, or Loom, you can upload those video links. So what I usually do is in YouTube, I upload it as unlisted. And so that way, if it's only going to my database, it's not weird on YouTube, but then I can put the YouTube link here. And then that is what will go out. Okay, so you have the ability with pre-templated email marketing campaigns to send them out. Same thing if you wanted to do your single property websites and things like that. Ads manager, this is where you can run your Facebook ads. This is what I was saying before. Maybe you want to do what's your home value. Maybe you want to do get a list of all of the pre-foreclosure homes in Estero. Maybe you want to do an open house campaign, right? You're having an open house this weekend and you want to try and get as many people as you possibly can to the open house. Or, get a list of all of the brand new construction homes in Estero under, $600,000, whatever. So this is where you can run your Facebook ads. You can run Google ads or Facebook ads, and it is so incredibly simple. We also have templates to use, so you don't have to recreate these ads. So you would just go down into real estate and you can see the Facebook templates that are already created for you. You just want to add, your information to it. And there you go. And now when these ads are run, so this is a home equity line of credit ad that I'm running, we can see that when they inquire about that ad, it is going into my Facebook lead pipeline. And then I have an automation set up. So I've been running this ad for not too long, like let's just say a couple of months. I have 274 new leads. I have 8 people that we've contacted. These people are in Spanish. These people are not interested. I had people just go and do the actual HELOC application. Some of them got declined. But what I have is an entire automation going out to these people with text and email. So when they see my ad on Facebook, they end up in my pipeline. And then I have a whole text and email automation that I will show you guys in a minute going out to them. So if we go into the automation here, and this is where we do the automations for everything. So if you're running webinars or you're running Facebook ads or the pipeline that I showed you earlier, and when you move people throughout the pipeline, this is where we create all of those automations. So if I go down to my HELOC ad, okay, we can see these people are currently enrolled. This was an updated ad that I started March 3rd. They submit this Facebook form on Facebook. It's going to put them in the pipeline, add a tag so I can market to them and continue to market to them. It's also going to add them to a Facebook custom audience so that I can remarket to them. And it's going to send them an email, a text. It's going to send me an internal notification that I have a new lead. It's going to wait 5 hours, send them another text. It's going to wait a day, send them another text and an email. It's going to wait, send a text and email. So this is my entire automation. Okay. So this is staying in touch with my leads automatically where I am not having to physically pick up the phone and call them, right? It is doing it for me. So I want to show you some of the different automations that can be done here. So if I were to click here, let's just say I wanted to add an automation, okay? These are all of the different things that you can do. I can do a voicemail drop to them. So I could say, hey, just checking in. I've sent you some texts and emails. I saw that you have not done the loan application yet. Just wanted to check in with you and see if you're interested, right? So I can do a voicemail drop. I can, add a task for my assistant to follow up. I can, basically add them to my Facebook custom audience, send them to a Slack channel if I wanted to. This is the voicemail drop. So we also have the ability with the automations, let's just say Facebook ads, for example, right? Where you say DM the word home value and I will send you your home value report. We can create that entire automation, right? So these are all of the different things. I mean, there's tons of automations, and that is why I love the CRM so much, because all you have to do is figure out how you want your business to flow. And once you figure that out, we can set up the system to have it flow for you. So that way you are not, you're not having to worry about a lot of this stuff, and you're focusing on what you enjoy doing in the business, whether it's going on listing appointments or showing properties or networking or whatever. We have the system following up for you. Okay. The next thing is going to be sites. There's a couple more things that I'm going to show you, and then I will show you the AI agent real quick. But these are all different funnels, calls to action, landing pages. Let me actually hop into the real estate one. So if you wanted to do, what's your home value funnel? Or let's just say you're sitting in open house, right? We have a whole automation to where when someone walks into the open house, there's a QR code there, right? We have the QR codes right here where we can create the QR codes. So they scan the QR code, they fill out a form. That client automatically goes into the CRM into, let's just say, an open house pipeline. And then the system will automatically email them the client detail sheet on the listing or the seller disclosure or whatever it is that you want to set up. And it will also send them a text message just saying, hey, thank you for stopping by my open house. And then we have it set up to where the following day we're following up with them, checking in via email and text message to see if they have any interest in that property or if they want to see any other properties. Okay. So we have a system to where when they come into the open house, they scan the QR code, fill out the form, the system will automatically follow up with them. And this is how you can capture more clients. So if you think about that kind of system, right, you can think of a lot of other ways that you can automate your lead generation based on your business and however your business is run. So we have the landing pages for property, single property websites, pre-foreclosure, expires, for sale by owners, whatever it is that you want to have a single property website with a call to action, right? We have them, they're done for you. You just have to edit them to make them your own. When it comes to websites, most companies offer a website for their agents. If you're at a company that you do not have a website, we also use Realty Candy is where we get our websites from. It is an upgrade, but these are all of the different websites that you can choose from. And then you have to get the IDX, which is a monthly fee. I want to say maybe $70 a month. And then we can set it up in the system to all of the new leads are ending up in your CRM, and you're getting alerted anytime they are, interested in a property or whatever. We would have the IDX all hooked up with the CRM for you. So if you need a website, we got you covered. As I mentioned before, the webinars, right? So I'm actually in the process, this CRM webinar, this CRM demo that I'm doing right now, I am going to create an evergreen webinar for it. This is how you do one-to-many sales. So get something that you're interested in, whether it's investment, working with investors, manufactured homes, first-time home buyers, VA, working with veterans, whatever it is, right? Do what I'm doing right now, whether it's to, other people, or you can just do it yourself. And then you're recording it on Zoom, and then you create an evergreen webinar so you can run traffic to that webinar, have people watch the webinar, they'll end up in your system, in your CRM, and then you have the text and email follow-ups going out to them. So we can see for my mortgage done by One CRM webinar that I did 2 weeks ago, this is what my webinar funnel is looking like, right? I did a tutorial this morning for everybody on the CRM, how to do a webinar funnel and I'm showing everybody basically how to create this. When they go send me to the webinar, it will take them to the next page. This is the call to action. So they're going into my CRM. And then I have the follow-up text and email going out to them after they watch the webinar. So this is an example of a webinar funnel. I also have it for specific loan programs. So if you want to do webinars, we have the ability right here with our webinar funnels. And then the chat widget. So if you have a website, right? Let's just say you have a website and you don't want to get a new website, which is fine. We can put this chat widget on your website and we train the widget. I'm going to show you when we go to AI in a minute. But we train the chat widget to basically answer questions. So let's say that your company is doing a lot of things with manufactured homes, for example, okay? We can literally take the different manufactured home dealers that you work with and we train the chat widget based on those. So if somebody goes to your website and asks a question about the manufactured homes, that chat widget will answer the questions for them, okay? So if you go to Grow Funding Group, which is my mortgage website, I'm just going to show you an example of my chat widget and what it looks like. I swear, so right here is what the chat widget will look like. And these are, if you have a question, so mine is trained on mortgages. So if I say, how much do you need to put down for a VA loan? She should be able to answer that question because I have trained her on VA loans and I've trained her on FHA loans and Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac guidelines, right? So VA, 100% of the home's purchase price. So if I want to say, how do I apply for a mortgage? She should tell me to apply here on the website. So we train the chat widget. So this can go on your website. It can go on your landing page. So right here, don't worry, we won't pull your credit. Okay, this is awesome, right? So someone would go up here and click on apply for a mortgage. So we train these chat widgets for you based on your business or teach you how to train your chat widget, okay? So if you wanted a new chat widget for your site, and you can have multiple, right? But these chat widgets don't just have to go on your website and answer questions. They can also answer text, answer email. They can send, like with the Facebook ads, they can answer your DMs. We have voice AI to answer incoming calls. So I'll show you that in a second. But this is basically how they can, how we train that chat widget. And then the QR codes are right here, so you can do unlimited QR codes. And then the cool thing is this is basically when someone scans a QR code, you can send them to a website, you can send them to your Google My Business review or your Facebook review. It can make a call, a text, an email, submit payments, fill out a form, a funnel. All of this stuff is what you can sync your QR codes with. So I'm sure you're getting, we have a couple more things. I'm sure you're getting, a little like, oh my gosh, there's so much it can do. But remember what I said in the beginning. What do you need in your business right now? And then what can we do later? So keep in mind, that's what you're thinking about. This is everything it can do. But what is it that you need now? So we talked about the SOPs before, and I want to show you, actually, let me hop into, this is the Z real estate. I thought I had my Brave funding. I thought I had my Grow Realty team up. But I wanted to show you, oh yeah, Grow Realty team. Okay. So if I go here and I go into products, right, we can see the SOPs, right, that we have. So we have SOPs for our VAs, for our scripts. If I go to preview, this is where I trained my ISAs to cold call the for sale by owners and the pre-foreclosure leads. So I had all of my prospecting scripts, how to pull the lists on PropStream, the pre-foreclosure home in scripts, all of that was right here, right? Script books, all of that is right here. So then if they wanted to, how to use the power dialer, and I have a video on how to use the power dialer. So I use Zoom for everything. I'm not a huge fan of Loom. I don't know why. I'm just used to Zoom. So I Zoom record everything and then I easily upload it into here. So that way they can see, watch a video on specifically how to do it. And if I had any handouts, I can have the handouts right here on the side. So this is creating SOPs in your business. So that way you do not have to train every single person. They can go watch the videos and see how to do it. So I'm talking to them here about what a list pendants is, and it's a letter that they receive in the mail. Here's all of the different scripts working pre-foreclosure homes, right? These are questions that you need to ask. Here's our landing pages for more information. So this is how you create SOPs in your business and have them all in the CRM. This is something that's really, really cool that we also have. If you're familiar with School, which is Alex Hermosi's, platform, we have something called Go Collab. So I'm going to show you an example over here, right? This is our support. We have 24/7 support. So if you're ever, I don't know, up at 2 a.m. trying to do something on the CRM and you can't do it, you're going to get a support agent, not an AI chatbot, but an actual person to hop on the computer with you if you need them to and show you how to do something so that I'm no longer your support. But Go Collab is a marketplace where if you have a team, or let's just say you're running a real estate office, okay? You have, I don't know, 1,000 agents. You can put all of the events that you're having right here, right? We can see if we had our previous events. You can run challenges through here. So maybe you have people that are on your leaderboard. Maybe you're running a listing challenge. You can get most, listings in the month of July. Maybe you're having a closing challenge. You have all your members here. You can have all different courses here. So when you come on the CRM, you have access to our boot camp. I do a 6-week boot camp. We just ended one. I'm going to be picking up another one in July. And that boot camp is basically based on all of the different pillars, right? So you're now going to have access to all different courses that we've created within the CRM. And then if there's any discussions or anything like that, it's right here. So if you're running a team or you're running an office, or you just basically want to start teaching classes to, whoever about whatever, Go Collab is amazing because this is where you can keep, basically keep everything. So that is what the Go Collab is. 2 more things, and then I'm going to show you the AI and we're done. And then any questions, obviously, that people have. So this is your reputation. This is where, your Google My Business review requests, widgets that you can put on websites. So or funnels or whatever, you can create your widgets. This is like what mine looks like. Requesting your reviews, all of that is going to be here. And then we have a power dialer. So if you're wanting to make calls or you have an assistant that's wanting to make calls for you, that's all going to be right in here. Okay. If I look at my opportunities and I go to, I had somebody calling foreclosure leads, pre-foreclosure leads. I was pulling them from PropStream. They were getting put into here. My VA was using the power dialer and she was cold calling these. She was cold calling the foreclosures and she was cold calling the for sale by owners. Okay. And then she would schedule the appointments for us. And if I go into, these are old because this is from like a couple of years ago, but if I go in there, I can see, right, what the conversation was with them. And if she had a voice conversation, that voice conversation was going to be in here. Okay. So this is basically how you can have your assistant or yourself using the power dialer. A lot of stuff that I showed you guys, you're probably like, I want to do all of that, but I don't want to create a landing page. I don't want to create the webinar funnel. I'm just going to do the webinar and I want somebody else to do that. Right here, you can hire a virtual assistant that's a done by one virtual assistant that knows the system, that can do all of that stuff for you. So you would click on hire a VA and then you would pick either, buckets of hours. I want someone for 5 hours. Well, that's going to be $50. And then we basically manage them for you. They can do all of your social media content and creation, database management, uploading your contact list, your marketing flyers, all of that stuff. If you want somebody that's a little bit more techie, right? You want them to run your Facebook ads for you. You want them to set up your custom audiences and your pixels and stuff like that. Those cost more, right? So then you would book 10 hours and they're $20 an hour. But then $200, you have somebody 10 hours that's working for you. So you don't have to worry about it. Real quick before I show you the AI, this is just an example of another landing page. It's already done for you. You would just, input your information there. Those are the websites, but these are all different courses that we have for you in the CRM. So if you're wanting to do the prospecting and the expired are paid courses, they're super cheap right now. If you're on the CRM, you get all courses at 50% off. But how to run Facebook ads, right? Recruiting, how to recruit for real estate and mortgage, how to do webinars. I just did a tutorial, 45-minute tutorial today on how to do webinars, how to do podcasting, how to do YouTube, right? These are all mini courses that you have available to you for free. As I mentioned, we're creating a community. It's not just, okay, you're on a CRM and you're like left on some island by yourself. We're creating a community where we're all sharing on, what's working and what's not working. So you have access to these. So I'm going to hop over into the AI. I have not set up the AI agent for real estate, but to give you an idea, right, on how on what it can do, I do have it set up for mortgage, and I also have other businesses that the AI is set up on. So if I go to my AI agent, the first thing that you do is you train that agent. So you go to knowledge base and you figure out what is it that I need to train that agent on, right? And the way that you train the agent is by uploading either websites, or if your team has FAQs, you can upload FAQs or a Google Drive or whatever. So we can see for the mortgage, right, that I gave my AI agent the HUD website, right? My Grow Funding Group website. That's how they know where people can apply. The Fannie Mae Selling Guide. So this is going to be your FHA VA. And then Kiavi, which is more of like your fix and flip loans, your investment property loans and stuff like that. So this is where that girl from my website is getting her information from. Now, if I wanted to also give her FAQs, how do I apply for a mortgage? Where can I get a copy of my credit report? This is the FAQs that I've added. See how she said, don't worry, we won't pull your credit? Well, it came from here. Don't worry, we won't pull your credit, right? So if you're, let's just say in manufactured homes, you can take the manufactured homes that you sell, you can upload, add the source, upload the website, right, from that manufactured home. And that chat widget should be able to answer any question that they can pull from that website about manufactured homes, right? Or for sale by owners, or, whatever it is that you're trying to go after. Now, once you have your knowledge base, you can then create different chat bots. So this is what was crazy. I totally forgot. I did a campaign to my past clients, and I took all of my past clients. I went in here and I created an automation trying to see if they needed to trying to see if they wanted to do a home equity line of credit. So I set all my past clients up on an automation, just letting them know about the market with a text and an email, asking them if they're interested in a home equity line of credit. I started noticing in the conversation log that there was responses happening, and I'm like, oh my god, who is responding to my clients? And then I realized that it was my AI chat widget, and it was actually, it told one guy like, have a safe trip to Florida, like all this stuff, but I freaked out for a minute because I was like, wait, where is this coming from? So in the conversation AI, I right now have live chat or chat widget right for my website. However, if I wanted to have this chat bot also schedule appointments, or follow up Instagram DMs or whatever, I'm going to go here, and this is how it was set up before, and this is why I was like freaking out. But I would just click on Instagram, Facebook, SMS, and WhatsApp, right? And now my chat widget is going to follow up with anybody over text, email, whatever. If I look at my bot training, so this is where I'm like training my bot, I'm having it pull from this existing knowledge base. I could have multiple knowledge bases, right? So if I have different landing pages and one of them is for expired listings, I can have a whole bot specifically for expired listings, and I would just pick whatever knowledge base I have here, right? I tell the bot what my goals are. What is it that I want them to do? And then this is where I test my bot. So do I want them to answer the phone? Do I want them to book an appointment for me? Do I want it to trigger a workflow? How do I want them to act, right? And then I have my dashboard here so I can see all of the different, things. I'm going to show you the voice AI because this is where a lot of my AI, this is where a lot of it is happening with voice. But now that under the bot settings, I just want to show you this real quick. I added the live chat, Instagram, blah, blah, blah. If I go back to my contacts, and let's just say I'm going in here. This is a new lead from Facebook. See down here, the conversation AI bot is active. So if this person texts me back, my AI chatbot is going to be having that conversation with this person. If they send me an email back or a WhatsApp, my AI chatbot will have that conversation with that person, right? So this is when I was like, oh my gosh, what is happening here? And then I realized my AI chatbot is, set up right now to answer those, text, emails, whatever. Okay. So going into voice AI, this is also where you can have your own concierge answering the phone for you. So Grow Funding Group receptionist, if somebody calls me and I don't answer my phone, it is going to answer it for me, and it's going to have the conversation with the person. And this is also something that you train. So we can see all of the different conversations that my AI chatbot has had with somebody. So I'm going to show you an example. My assistant was was trying to get me. I'm trying to do a webinar in September, so I had her call in Grandeza, different areas to see how much it is to rent the room, blah blah blah. So my AI receptionist handled this call for me. I got the transcript immediately emailed to me, right? So here's the transcript that was sent to me in an email. And now this is the call recording. So I can hear how that call went. So I'm not going to
Hi,
play.
you have reached Grow Funding Group, your residential and commercial loan specialist. How can I help you today?
Hi, I received a call about a inquiry regarding hosting a seminar.
Got it. Could you please share your name so I can make sure the right person gets back to you?
Sadie?
Just to make sure I've got it right, your name is Katie. Is that correct?
No, it's Sadie.
Okay.
Okay, I think I've got it. So, Sadie, could you tell me a bit more about the seminar inquiry?
Okay, so I'm not going to play the whole thing, but literally this went through. I would have missed that call if I didn't have my VA, the AI receptionist answer that call. And then I immediately got that transcript sent to me. So that way I knew, okay, it was sent to me via email. Okay, I, have to go ahead and call this person back. So you can see the remainder of the conversation. I'm not gonna, waste a whole minute on that. But that's how the voice AI receptionist goes. Now, the awesome thing is that my husband is using it. He has a construction company, and the awesome thing is that it is bilingual. So if you have, let's just say, I wanted her to be bilingual and someone called me in Spanish, I can have her, when I select the language, English, German, Spanish, like these are all of the different languages, right? But I can have her be bilingual. So if someone calls and starts talking to me in Spanish, then she will talk back or he will talk back, whoever you choose, in Spanish. And if you have a team, let's just say you have a team and you own the CRM, but you don't speak Spanish, but you do have a Spanish speaking person on your team. So when that call comes in and that person, has the call in Spanish, you can set it up to where this recording will go to the Spanish speaking real estate agent on your team so that they can pick up that lead. And that way you are not losing clients, right? So you can play.
Las grandes oportunidades llegan para quien sabe tomarlas. Así que si te llega una, puedes estar seguro de que realmente es para ti.
So these are all of the different people that are bilingual, okay? So if I wanted my chatbot to be bilingual, I could have them English and Spanish. If you have another language, you can set up, let's just say you're German, which is a big, this area is big with German or Portuguese or whatever. You can have one specific chatbot only for that language. So, anyways, that is basically the CRM in a nutshell. I know it's a lot, but I wanted to make sure that I showed you everything. Does anybody have any questions or comments or anything that you want me to go over with you or show you a little bit more? So transaction management, in terms of what? So we do have transaction management, especially if we're dealing with the opportunities in the pipelines. And we can also we have private integrations. So if you want to connect something else that you're using, then we have the ability to do private integrations within the CRM. And then also any other sites that you're using, like for example, if you have, you want a loan calculator within there, or there's something else that you're using on a regular basis, we can have all of that, kind of right here as a custom menu link for you. One of the other things that we've created is GPTs, which that was in my AI class. If you're on the CRM, you have access to all of those classes. If you want any information on the AI class that I did, I teach you how to literally create a GPT with ChatGPT. So for example, this is a mortgage income underwriter, but we also have an expired listing closer, right, that we can add. So this is a powerful realtor who relists and sells expireds with simple FOMO-driven listing copy. So you can go to this expired listing closer GPT and have them create content for you specifically for expired listings. We also have a real estate market trend GPT, and then we create those custom menu links for you on the side. So that way, if you need that GPT for whatever, you can click right there and it will take you there. If you guys have specific questions, I'm going to put my email in the chat. So feel free to, this will be recorded. I will be sending this out to everybody. That is my email for the CRM. So if you guys have specific questions or want to hop on like a 15-minute call at some point, I am leaving for Europe on Friday. So I will be, you know, I work from over there, as you can see. That was the main reason I got done by one. So I can literally be anywhere in the world and work from my cell phone. But I will have my computer as well. So if you want to hop on a call, I'm actually going to be at the EXP Realty Conference Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday in Barcelona next week. And then after that, I'm free. So I do have some time this week also. So you can email me your specific questions. This will be going out to everybody. The replay will be going out to everybody. I will also send you those handouts that I talked about, the DADs, the weekly guides, the business audit, and I can actually include the GPTs, how to create them in case you're interested. But once you become a member of the Done by One CRM, we have so many different webinars and tutorials and videos that you can, that are pre-recorded that you can watch. Or once I'm back from Europe, we're going to be starting up another boot camp. So that way we can have, you know, a great end of year so that everyone is generating business and closing deals. And literally this should pay for itself. It's $250 a month. For the month of June, we have, this is a write-off, guys. So you literally, a CRM is a write-off on your taxes. So it's basically costing you nothing. So it's $250 a month, or for the annual plan, it's $2,500 for the entire year. For the month of June, it's $500 off using June 2025. And I'll put also real quick in the chat where you can get more information. Donebyone.ai will have all of the information on there as well. But it's awesome. It will literally change your business. You know, if you want to run anything by me, you have my email, and that's basically it. So thank you guys for sticking with me. I appreciate it. I know it was a little bit over an hour, but any questions, let me know. You have my info, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Bye.